Welcome to Macro Golf's Get Golfers Moving. This is episode number 4 of this series. Thank you for joining me on this series as I'm trying to get as many golfers up off the chair, up off the sofas, away from their desks, and just doing some kind of movement for at least 15-20 minutes in the day. So we're going to start on our backs as we do with all of these sessions, and we're going to gradually work our way up onto our knees, and then finally into a position where I believe we should spend most of our day in a standing position. So unlike a lot of the sessions, you are going to need just one bit of equipment for this, and that is going to be a golf club, which I'm sure all of you have hanging around the house just waiting to be used. So we're going to come down onto our backs and start in our supine position. Now from here, what we normally do is just work a little bit on the breathing. So we're going to do that as well, but we're just going to set the golf club up and above our head. So from here, we just really think about breathing deep into the belly and trying to get this rise and this fall from the stomach area. So a few deep breaths here. So if you're happy in this position as you're really breathing, that's fine. You can also bring your legs up if you want to, just create a little bit of kind of tension in the core area. And now using the golf club from up and above our head, we're now going to take it all the way down behind us, and hopefully we are able to touch it on the ground behind us. If your shoulder mobility doesn't allow you to do that, then just come to a level that's comfortable for you, and then bring it back up to the top. Come all the way back down, touch the floor, and back up. We're going to do 2 more here. And last one. Let your feet come back down to the mat. Now holding the golf club, what we're going to do now is think about just trying to push this golf club as far as we can up to the ceiling, but we're only going to lift our shoulder blades off of the mat. Okay, so we're going to get some core engagement here. We're going to push the golf club up towards the ceiling. So we're just going to roll up, lift the shoulder blades very, very slightly, and then come back down. Push club up, and relax. You'll feel the real core engagement here. Everything else remains stable. Shoulder blades off the mat, and back down. We're going to do 2 more here. And the last one. Bring the club back down onto your shins now. So come onto here, and now we're just going to go through a little bit of self-massage on the back and come into a seated position. So just roll forward and back. Doing a little bit of self-massage into the lower back. Come all the way up into a seated position. And we can actually spin all the way around onto our knees. Now from this position, you're going to work a little bit on some of this rotation. Obviously we know this is a big part of the golf swing in terms of the thoracic spine rotation, but it's something that also becomes very, very tight for sat down for long periods as well. So you can put the club across your chest. And now you're just going to work on trying to keep your bum down by your heels. We're just going to rotate just from the shoulders, keeping the hips facing forward, and you're going to rotate round and turn. We're going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and then switch sides to the other side. Still maintaining that breathing. 3, 2, 1, back round to the first side. 3, 2, 1, back for the final turn. And bring it back to the middle. Now I'm going to take the club up and above our heads. Notice how we're doing a little bit of work up and above our head here, and we should have enough shoulder mobility that we can get this club going above our head. If we don't, we need to work on that, but for these videos, if you're here, wherever you are, that's fine. As long as you're trying to keep this nice flat line and not let the ribcage flare up. So keeping this contracted and keep the club up and above our head. And now we're going to do the same. We're going to rotate round just with the shoulders, keeping that club up and above our head. Back round to the other side. One more turn each. 3, 2, One final turn. And relax there. The club's going to come all the way down onto the mat now, and you're going to hold onto the head of the club. And we're going to take 1 foot back and 1 foot forward into a lunge position. So I'm going to start with my left foot forward, my right foot back at a right angle. And now what I'm going to feel about doing is really contracting my glutes and squeezing my hips forward, or keeping a nice tall posture on the club. What that's going to do is going to get a nice stretch coming into my right hip flexor. You can apply a little bit of pressure down onto the club if you want to, just to keep a nice, solid, stable core. You're now going to rock back, let the bum slowly rock back, and then re-engage that stretch. So we're just letting that stretch off as we rock back, and then re-engage. So as we re-engage, you really power through, you really squeeze this glute. We're going to do 2 more here. You can start to get quite powerful with that movement now. Last one. And we're going to swap sides. Left foot comes back, right foot comes forward, and we're going to do the same again. Now we're working the stretch on the left hip flexor. Really squeezing the glutes. Both glutes are going to remain squeezed. Slowly rock back, unload the stretch, and then power that stretch back on. Applying a little bit of pressure down into the head of the club, and maintaining that breathing. Breathing still remains nice and deep within the belly. Going to unload, rock back, and rock through. 2 more of these. Unload, and power through. You're now going to take both feet, walk up towards the club, and come into a standing position with your hands on top of the club. Now, this stretch has been making it a little bit viral recently with Miguel, so let's see how we can get on with this stretch. So with the club out in front of us, just holding the head of the club, what we're going to do is we're going to shift our weight back, let our bum drop backwards. We're going to feel a stretch in the hamstrings, but we're also going to really get a stretch in our lat muscles and the big muscles in our back, okay? So we're going to push the club away from us and let our chest sink down towards the mat. So we're going to down into this position here. And the idea is we're trying to create a nice straight line between the back of our head and our tailbone. We're going to come back up, again, same as the last stretch, we're taking the stretch off and then re-engaging that stretch. I quite like to do this sometimes to add a little bit of movement to these stretches and don't spend too much time in this end movement. We unload and then load again. We're going to do 3 more here. Unload, and load. 2 more. And final one now. And take a rest there. So I'm going to come and face you so you can see a little easier. Final movement we're going to do for today. So with the club hanging down into a hinge position, we're going to keep a nice flat back and a nice flat line between our head and our bum. And all we're going to do from this position is rotate the club out and away from us and back to the middle. And then we can go to the other side and back. We'll repeat a few more times on each side. One more each side. And take a rest there. Guys, great work for today. Get us moving, getting the golfers moving all around the country. Had some views around the world as well, which is amazing to see that we're trying to spread the word of getting people up and about and getting golfers moving. So as soon as we're allowed to go out there, we're all going to be fighting, ready to get our low scores as we return. Well done for getting today's session done. Thank you for joining me on this video. If you enjoyed that video, it'd be great if you hit the subscribe button. Great if you hit the like button as well. And until then, I look forward to seeing you on the next video.